Fear and greed, 17 today. Extreme fear. If you know the fear and greed index, it tracks it from the day before. So this was 17. This was yesterday. This was extreme fear. It was very fearful. So remember this day. Remember how it felt. I certainly remember how it felt. It was uncomfortable buying, but I bought some. Okay, and I have my buy zone, and I shared that in one of the Telegram groups that I'm in. So yeah, I am a buyer, not a crier in this phase. Let's have a look at the cryptocurrency market cap and all of the coins. Let's look at the 7-day. Let's look at see what got hit. Dog with hat, Maker 31%, 37%, so quite a lot on some of these. Pepe 30%, Phantom 30%. Injective, wow, even Arweave 28%. So it seems like the 30% are sort of like 38% touching 40s, maybe that sort of area is the worst, and then coming down a bit. Some of our favorites are here as well, near at 26%. Okay, not as bad as Dog with Hat, but quite bad. And then when you scroll down a little bit, even Ethereum's up here at 23% of a loss over the last 7 days. So yeah, but let's have a look and see what's been let's have a look at it the other way. 7 days. Oh my gosh, it's the stable coins. Stable coins are the ones that are gaining the most, and that says a lot. That says a lot. So yeah, you can see Tether there, USD. Oh my gosh, all these other ones here. And then over the past 7 days, look, Aave, great bounce. Flare, great bounce. Helium, great bounce. Celestia, okay, 8%, and so forth. All right, cool. Everything got hit, right? Everything got hit. Everyone knows what's going on, what happened, or what the storyline is. Japan and the yen, and then raising interest rates, yada, yada, yada. I don't really follow it too much. I hear it, goes in one ear and out the other. I don't make trades based on the news I hear. I make trades based on the charts. So we're going to have a look at the charts. Okay, so S&P 500. Let's have a look at S&P 500 on a daily. Yep, bam, that went down. How much did that go down? From the top to the bottom here, 10%, like 10%. Nasdaq, I imagine more. Let's have a look, top to bottom, 15%. Yep, tech stocks. Dow Jones down. The Russell 2000, the small caps, and the VIX, the volatility index. I still track that. Yeah, everything went down, right? Everything went down. So let's go to Bitcoin. Let's start with the king. And if you follow my channel, you know what I tend to do is well, what I have been doing is trading a range. I've been trading this range since February. All right, since February, since we entered this range. Apologies, everything that I did on my previous chart and everything that I logged before just went missing somehow. So I'm gonna have to redo it all, so forgive me in this video. But yeah, we was tracking this range. We was tracking the range. We was tracking this range. I think actually, this bar here was a bit higher. It wasn't here. It was this line right across here like that. Okay, so this white line that I've got as my bottom of my range, that's not where I was tracking it from. It was roughly around here like this. Okay, but you get the picture. I was trading the range. Okay, and we finally broke out of the range. We broke out of the range. Now, and how I know that was the case, because if I back out my fibs, okay, I want to back out my fibs on, I'm going to go to the weekly. Okay, I've got my Gantt swings on here. Got my Gantt swings. Okay, it's these zigzag lines here. It tells me the tops and bottoms. It helps identify it real quickly. Different settings on both. Okay, so I'm going to back up my fibs. I'm going to take this bottom here, which was done in January 2024. Okay, that's when it printed, and the top. Okay, the top of the range, which was on 11th of March. Drag it across, and let's have a look and see what we get. We line it up here. You can see that's where our 50% is, and that's where we're closing above right now. Okay, look at that bar. That is a beautiful bar. Let's give ourselves a bit of space. Look at this bar here. Look at that wick. Sorry, look at this wick. Bought up, closing above the 50%. I hope we can close the week above here. That would be fantastic. Above 56.5k. That would be fantastic. All right, so let's hope Bitcoin can do that and show some strength. And so at a time like this, that's when you want to make sure that your altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. Okay, you want to make sure your altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. Another thing I want to do is that swing there, that's that swing. I'm just going to grab this fib here and I'm going to bring it to this swing. Okay, this swing. I want to see where that is. There we go. Look at that. If you line that up, that we actually hit the 50% of the swing that was formed in September 2023. Okay, that swing 20. Remember this, guys. Remember this. Look how far back that swing is. September 2023. Nobody would have thought we would have hit 49k, but it very often comes back to retest the 50%. It's super powerful. The 50% is key. 50% is key. The 618 I like to add. This is where I like to get in on big pullbacks. If I see something going up, if I see something skyrocketing, I don't often, if it forms a new range, I don't often buy spot positions in that range. If I do, it's small positions, but I will add a ton on a 50% and especially the 618. Okay, especially that. All right. So I was buying up here, okay, when it hit the ranges, and I do a lot of leverage trading, that I'll trade that. I'll buy a bit on spot, but the bulk of it, I know, wait for the 618, wait for a major 50%, okay, wait for it. So that's just my advice there for you. Now, something you want to do as well is take the low, the low from the bottom of the bull market, okay, in November 2022. That's the start of the bull market. Okay, if we bring that up and we look at the 50% there, that comes in at 44k. All right, many people said they don't think that it would reach 44k. Let's clear it up for you so you guys can see it. Many people told me, I don't think it's going down to 44k. I bet you they think it's a lot more believable right now. But to be honest with you, that could be a little bit greedy, waiting for this and waiting for that. All right, but still put some money aside because it could happen. All right, I will get my chart looking good again because I know I was following some trend lines here and everything like that, and I've lost it all. We was following a nice trend line. I had this chart laid out really well. Now, don't get me wrong, I do lay out my stuff on the BLX chart, and I need to update this as well to just have a look at the usual time frames for bull and bear market. And you know, based on previous bull markets and bear markets, it's looking to come out at October 2025 next year. So yeah, and look at this. Yeah, you can see it here, hitting the 6-1. There's the golden ratio right up here. It's inversely, it's flipped on its head. All right, so the 50% is down here at 41k here on the BLX chart. So this is all the data on all major exchanges of Bitcoin. Yeah, cool. Let me move on. I'm waffling away. Ethereum. My Ethereum chart stayed the same. Look at this. Look at this ascending triangle. Yeah. When I created this ascending triangle and we broke out, okay, I left this in. Because I wasn't satisfied with this retest. I didn't like it. Like, it looks like a nice consolidation area here, but the way we bolted out, I always said, and have a look at my previous videos, I said we could come back and retest this ascending triangle. We could come back and retest this. And look at that. Look at that. Remember how you felt when all of this happened and we was up here at nearly $4,000. In fact, we did hit $4,000. Nobody would have thought ETH was going to come back to $2,000 with all the ETF news and all of that stuff. But we did. TA for me is king. I trade on TA. I don't trade on the news. That's just me though. You do what you want to do, and what do I know? Cool. So that's ETH. ETH doing well. I want to see ETH come back above his 50% to 2,800. But we've had a big push down. I don't expect a massive V-shaped recovery. Some people's going to want to take their take some of their profits. Some people's going to want to get out now that we've got a bounce. Give it a bit of time. You know, be flexible with it. But if it does get above 50% this week, next week, that'll be cool. I'm looking towards end of September, October. October's usually very bullish for crypto and risk on assets, so that's what I'm looking at. All right, that's what I've been looking at, and that's what I've always been looking at. Because if I don't have it on my Bitcoin chart here, but what I was tracking is the length of time of each of the consolidation areas. Like this was like 2.5 months or something, or 270 odd days. I believe this was like 70 days. And when you mark it out up here, it comes to about like late September, early October. Okay, so I was always looking at that date. So let's see. I mean, it might prove to be totally wrong, but that's it. So that's Bitcoin and Sol. Let's have a look and see how ETH is doing versus Bitcoin, because as you know, if you watch my channel, I have been layering in Bitcoin, selling Bitcoin for ETH, trying to catch a falling knife. Okay, so I've been buying at many of these spots. I've been buying here, I've been buying here, and I've been buying here, and yeah, so far it hasn't been the best decision, in all honesty. At this present time, it hasn't been the best because I have been losing my value of ETH versus Bitcoin. Okay, I'm losing. So I'm hoping, but that was the plan. The plan was to keep buying. Buy more at the bottom here. I'm going to be transparent with you. I'm going to be transparent with you. This is how I say it out. Intending to sell more Bitcoin for ETH at this area here, and I'll hold to that, right, for the rest of the bull market, unless we start to like close below here, these lines here, this swing low here. If I start to see ETH closing down there, then I'll sell all my ETH for Bitcoin, providing that we're still in the bull market. But that's just me. So that's ETH versus Bitcoin. You can see 1.29% down. BNB ETH. Now this is a good chart versus Ethereum. Okay, so it actually would have been better for me to sell my Bitcoin into BNB rather than ETH, but this is a marathon, not a race. So let's see. All right, let's move on to some altcoins because that's what most people look at. Let's have a quick look at Arweave. I haven't gone onto these charts for a while. I haven't prepared it, so we're gonna have a look and see what I was tracking. So with Arweave, you can see here that we had. Let's give ourselves a bit of space. This upswiping trend line broke it. We haven't sort of back tested it. I usually like to see a back test to prove that it's being acted as resistance. We didn't get that. Broke through the 50%. Okay, and we're hanging out here at the 618 and this long trend line here. I can't remember if I bought any Arweave actually. I did buy some Arweave at some point. Definitely wasn't this low though. It definitely wasn't this low. It might have been like here, this 618 or something, because I thought we were close enough to this trend line coming up here. So I'm hoping Arweave has a bounce. Okay, we've got the 618, okay, which it is closing within. We do have this trend line. Okay, if we start to close below that trend line, if we start to close below $15.54, then I will reconsider my Arweave position and take it from there really. But we don't want it to go back into this consolidation range. Okay, we don't want it to come back into this consolidation where it consolidated from $7 to $11. All right, Arweave. So let's keep it moving. Let's have a look at BNB. I sold my Cosmos. I finally took the dive and sold my Cosmos, and it's a good thing I sold my Cosmos because it went down even worse. I had a look at Cosmos or Atom, sorry, versus Bitcoin, and man, what a chart that was. So like Atom versus BTC, I was like, this needs to go now. This is a dump. So I like Cosmos because it gives you high staking yields and it does give you some airdrops as well. But after seeing this, like I couldn't. Breaking the monthly swing, okay, and consolidating underneath it, you gotta go. So Cosmos is gone. Your altcoin should be outperforming Bitcoin, and this really isn't. This really isn't. It had this monthly swing from, when is this? Like, this monthly swing was created here in 2019. So if you was holding Cosmos from 2019, like, you're pretty much down versus your Bitcoin value. So what I'm basically saying is it would have been better to just hold Bitcoin. Okay, would have been better to hold Bitcoin. So that's Cosmos. Cosmos is gone. That's out of our portfolio. What's some of the babies that I want to have a look at? What's BNB doing? BNB. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I was drawing here. Let's give myself a bit of room again. So let's get this stuff off. I don't know what this is here. Let's get that. Get you off. And look at that, closing within this trend line, wherever I had this trend line. Okay, I was tracking it from here. It's probably a bit more accurate on the 5-day or the weekly, but great. Look at BNB. Came down to it 618 at $398 or $400. Wicked back up back into this trend line. Don't sleep on BNB. Everybody does. Everybody thinks it's not exciting, but you got to bet on the house. And BNB is solid, outperforming ETH. Have a look at BNB, man. Have a look at BNB. Okay. And even for BNB, for things like, if you're not too sure and you still want exposure, your altcoins are dumping, but you still want exposure to the market. I know that many people use BNB as a safe haven, okay? Almost like an alternative to Bitcoin to give them a bit more upside than Bitcoin, but a bit more safety versus the altcoin that they're in. But you do you, all right? That the bounces ain't gonna be as large, all right? Look at this bonk, 14% up, cocking you 17%, but how far has it gone down? Cocking you, yeah? Okay, cool. You look at that number and you say, oh wow, it's up 17%. But that's only if you bought that low. That's only if you bought that low. Because look at the swing. We're breaking the previous low. Sorry, we wicked down. from this previous low here. We wicked down beneath it. All right, we're closing at the same level, but it's danger zones. Cool. Let's have a look at Injective. What's Injective doing? I haven't looked at this in ages. So yeah, I mean, I said Injective was looking dangerous from quite a while ago. From when I saw Injective break his 50%, use it as resistance, come back down, wasn't able to get above it, and it's losing the weekly swing, this yellow area here. I don't like it. If it breaks down from this consolidation area here, which is at like 1391, like I'm not involved. I'm not involved at all. It's unfortunate because Injective had some legs at the start. How far is Injective down? Wow, 75%. This was the talk of the town at the start of the bull market, you know, midway, you know, when it was the altcoins turn. It was the talk of the town. Man, it's hard out there for altcoins still. What's Phantom saying? What's Phantom? Ooh, wow. So that looks terrible. There was a stage that I bought Phantom. I sold Phantom at some profit, and I'm so glad I got out. This is why it's so important to chart your. I'm not even going to look at it. We're at the weekly swing. We're closing here, but unless I see Phantom, I would need to see like what I would need to see. Yeah. All right. Let's do an example here. Let me get rid of this shit. Look at how much shit I've got. Let's remove drawings. Remove all of that. Yeah. What would I want to see? Let's move it to the weekly. So we first have this swing here. Yeah. So providing that this is the low. Here, the first thing it needs to overcome is the 50% from its top to bottom. Okay, so first it needs to overcome this 40 cents. So that's what it's got to contend with. Even before that, we've got a swing low here that it needs to contend with. So 38 cents to 40 cents. It needs to overcome that. All right, let's bring my swing to the next swing high. We're looking at 61 cents. It's got a lot of work to do. So it's sitting at sort of this level. It's trying to close above here. You can see it there. It's trying to close above here. You can see it's got resistance here. It's going to have resistance here at 53 cents. It's going to have some resistance at 58 cents here. It's going to have some resistance at 61 cents. It's got a lot of baggage. It's like an X. It's got loads of baggage. Why go back into it? So, I mean, yeah, not for me, but Phantom there. Let's look at NEAR. Let's not waste no time. Let's look at NEAR. Okay, haven't looked at NEAR in a while, but I have been trading NEAR. So what let's remove drawings. I'm going to start fresh, Okay, so here's where we are right now. We're at $3.72. You know what's so funny about this is there was this guy on one of the channels that I follow, and he was saying when NEAR was up here at $7 something, he was saying I wouldn't touch NEAR until it comes down to $3 or $2. I didn't believe that would happen. And he was bloody right. I mean, I just didn't think it would happen. It's not that it's not that it couldn't happen. It's just that I didn't think it would happen. All right, cool. So we're going to take this swing here. It's low here, which it had in October 2023. And we're going to scale it up. We're going to back out our fibs on this. You can see we're at the 618 right here. You can see we're at the tops here. If any support's going to come in, it's right now. I really want to see some volume kick in. I really want to see NEAR pump from here. If we don't, we can at least expect, I think we could at least expect a pump to $4.98. But we really need to see this get back on top. We need it to see it get back up on top of its 50%. Get back above these swing highs here. And we need this to consolidate. Otherwise, NEAR needs to go. It really needs to go. And why do I say that? It's because NEAR's already got a whole bag of, it's got baggage already. Its all-time highs are at like $20. Like, look how far it is away from its 50%. Its 50%'s at like $10. It's got a lot of things to get through, whereas something like Solana it's already above its 50%. BNB, these coins, BNB, Solana, they're above their 50%. They're trading around here. So I don't like what NEAR's doing, but I have been comparing NEAR versus ETH. Okay, I have been comparing NEAR versus ETH, and that's partly one of the reasons why I had it. Where is it on my chart? Come on, NEAR versus ETH. Let's have a look at you. Yeah, this was my strategy, was to watch the inverse head and shoulders. Now, why I'm still in near, okay, I still hold quite a significant amount of near, is because it hasn't broken down from this 618 as well, from its value versus Ethereum. Okay, so as long as it holds this and doesn't come back down and close under here, I will continue to hold the remaining portion of my near. Okay, if it breaks above and closes and starts to make some rallies, gets above the trend line, gets above the 50%, then maybe I might swap some of my Solana and some of my near for ETH, because that's where I move some of my near. I move some of my near into Solana and ETH. So yeah, that's that. You want to have a look at something that's doing well versus ETH? You look at this chart, Solana versus ETH right now. Look at that. Like, look at that. It's nearly at all-time highs. In fact, oh my gosh, this is at all-time highs. What? See, my goodness. This is why you got to be active. It was a good thing that I did sell some of that near for ETH and Sol. But probably in hindsight, all of it should have gone into Sol, but you can't win everything. So yeah, continuing to track that. Continue to track your coins versus Bitcoin. Continue to track your coins versus ETH. And yeah, that's it really. Any other coins that I should look at? QuickTime, Theta, Super, Solana. Maybe I'll have a look at it in the next video, because I think this is coming on 20 minutes. No one's going to watch this, but yeah, something for me. I'll better get my charts on. So yeah, good luck out there on these crypto streets, guys. And remember, you know, stay safe out there. But what do I know? Yeah, peace.